Thank you for joining us all for Cecil Queef's Mondo Rad Vids. I am your host, Cecil Queef. We are here in Soundstage B at Phobophobia Production Studios, my home away from homelessness. And we are here with the Renaissance man. He is a writer. He is a comic. He is a comedian. Those are two separate things. There is a difference. And he is a rock musician, a frontman of two bands, and he's going to talk to us right now. This is Dan Morales. Hello.
Hello. Hey, Cecil, how you doing? I'm a big fan.
Oh, likewise.
Actually, I'm 5'6", but that's a big enough fan, right? Huh?
That's one for your money. Here we go.
All right. Hey, woo, boy. I mean, you're a good-looking crowd. Can I say that? Is that okay? Is that politically correct to say you're a good-looking crowd? How about this? You're intellectually satisfying crowd that is pleasing to my cerebral cortex. Is that good? Is that okay? Thank you. I gotta say, I had a tough time getting in here. I just flew into the World Trade Center, and boy, are my arms tired. The World Trade Center, boy, are my arms tired. You know what? Don't even laugh. Just consider every joke to be a cry for help. And I think that'd be a lot better, okay? Because I am kind of walking on the edge right now, man. I mean, we got a crazy president. We got a hooker for the first lady. The rest of it, I don't know. Me, I decided that I'm going to run for president in 2020. So let this right now, here and now, be the official declaration that I will be running for president in 2020, okay?
The hard-hitting questions about Halloween candy, Dan Morales preferences.
Halloween candy? Well, I'm diabetic. So
that's all. That's out.
I usually eat a pickle on Halloween. That's how good as it gets. That's as good as it gets for me on Halloween is a pickle. Because any kind of sugar will cause me to bleed from every orifice.
That's fair enough. Vlasic is classic. You gotta stick with that. You gotta respect it.
I'm currently working, but I'm always looking for new work. I'm always trying to expand my horizons. Los Angeles is a land of opportunity, right? So what I did was I applied for a job at a time travel company, okay? They called me for an interview. I showed up late, and it turned out I had been fired a year ago. How about that? Wrap your brain around that, right? I mean, maybe not now, but when you're going home, you're going to say, well, that was heavy duty, right? Like a Christopher Nolan film. It's but I digress.
Is there a time when candy was something that you was into, or you just are you more of a savory gentleman? Or
well, there was a period when I really liked the Robin's eggs that came at Easter time. It was like an egg, but with malted Whopper filling. Yeah. And I like that. Eventually I grew towards more of a Twizzlers kind of a thing, more fruity than chocolate.
Yeah. But
I don't want that to be perceived as being a racial statement, okay, or as being homophobic. That I prefer fruity to chocolate. I didn't want that to be. So rather than avoid controversy, I decided to embrace it, and I got chocolate-covered Twizzlers, and those are my favorite right now. I gotta say, man, it's a tough time in America. Things are tough all over, I guess, especially in America. There's a lot of rock stars lately that are hanging themselves. And I don't know why. I don't know. I think probably a better candidate for suicide will be the guy working the fryer at McDonald's, okay? I think maybe him, okay? Maybe him I would understand if he had to work the fryer at McDonald's, he hung himself. But, I don't know.
Woke, staying woke.
Word. Can we do this still?
Yeah, I do it. I ain't stopping. I raise all the roofs.
Who am I? Who are any of us? I mean, is this spinning ball of gravity really reality? Am I just a wetback from outer space? Is that what's going on here? Have you contemplated that goddamn... You know what? I told myself I was not going to swear tonight, so I'm not going to swear. But I'm asking you that. I'm just contemplate for a second. What if we were the aliens, and this is not our planet? Have you considered that? Well, you probably haven't drank as much as I have either. But I have a couple more Four Locos, and I think you're going to consider that probably.
Halloween costumes? Is that hard to recall?
No, not at all. I usually go the ghost route. You know, maybe a sheet with eyes. You know, then as I got older and less into Halloween and more into getting free candy, I would always go towards the Jason Halloween mask. That was always good. You know, the hockey mask. That was always good.
So that was better for getting candy in terms of seeming more like a threat, like you got to give it to me?
Exactly. That was, and keeping with the scary theme of the time, definitely.
Best part of those. Love it.
How old you got into trick-or-treating, like when your last time was?
Oh, what time is it? Oh, Halloween. Whoo, boy. I can't talk enough about Halloween. It's like my favorite holiday. Okay, I'm such a big Halloween guy. I invest all year long, and I give computers to every kid that comes to my door. Okay? The thing is, I give them an apple with a razor blade in it. Ho! With the razor blade, an apple. Thank you, Cecil. Thank you, Cecil. I guess probably about maybe about 13 years old, I started to get more conscious of being cool.
Yeah.
Was it cool to get dressed up and go? So I guess I should let myself enjoy childhood a bit longer. But you know, I was 13, and a couple years after that, I ended up shooting Kennedy. Knock knock. Who's there? Hollow. Hollow who? Hollow. Weed. That's right.
He's talking about George Kennedy. I know that doesn't seem like that is accurate if you look it up on the internet, but this is the truth. This is an exclusive.
I tell you, some good memories connected with Halloween. Oh, I remember bobbing for apples. I remember appling for Bob. Yes, that was less of a fond memory. But
age 13. Now, don't let me put words in your mouth like the Cadbury. Yeah.
I remember one Halloween in particular. It was kind of a Norman Rockwell kind of a Halloween. It was fires burning and children singing, and I think it was that Halloween when I lost my job. So because there's no candy that year. All right, oh, big problem, right? No candy for Halloween. Commercial Halloween, gotta have that candy. Can't have the spirit of Halloween. Can't have.
He used all the items.
Funny.
He used the environment like that's the Juilliard training that he got.
She's happening over here off camera. Hot stuff. Monkey sex.
Oh dear. Oh, we got all kinds of freaky.
You know what, man? Is it cool if we just? I mean, do we have to do more? I mean, or because I'm about to, I think I'm gonna cover some Linkin Park, okay? Or maybe some Fall Garden or Mrs. Doubtfire.
Oh, that's two right on time.
Yeah.
Is it accurate to say that by 13 it was about chasing new treats besides candy, more like a pubescent kind of a hormonal awakening?
Actually, no. At 13, I was woefully nerdy.
Yeah.
I mean, there was that not even attracting any attention from women. So what I did was I turned to LSD.
There you go.
And so I was at a friend's house, and his big brother put LSD in my soda, and we heard physical graffiti for the first time, and I was pretty blown away. Up to that point, I liked like Elton John and Halloween masks and stuff like that. But after that acid, I was taken to another level of enjoyment, and treats meant a totally different thing. Yes.
See, with the LSD, I don't even know if you for real. You're not doing the LSD at 13 for real.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. It was sprung on me. We used to ride the bikes like till late. We stayed out late, and I was at my friend's house. His older brother played King Crimson, Genesis, Gentle Giant, all these weird groups, and we were smoking weed back then.
Like early prog rock Genesis?
Exactly. We were smoking weed back then, but he told me we're drinking sodas. He said, I put some LSD in your soda. I was like, yeah, right. He goes, no, really, really, don't freak out, but you're going to feel really weird for like 10 hours. It was about 8 o'clock at night. It was like on a Tuesday, school night. I was like, oh, man, I got to ride my bike home, you know? So he's like, you'll be okay, but it's all in your head. Okay, so I finally rode my bike home. There's this big flight of stairs they call the Dracula stairs. Someone live at the top, and I passed by there like just freaking out and everything, but in a really, really good place. Like it rebooted in my brain, and after that, I just I pursued more of a psychedelic kind of adventures.
Hell yeah, that's right. So in terms of now,
in terms of Halloween,
being
how psychedelic was it? Future Halloween.
Can you frame it in a All Hallows Eve context for the people? We ain't gotta be all handcuffed to all that. That's all right. We ain't gotta try to do all that.
I think
But
it's too late now. We're sentenced to ride this Halloween trade.
I want to ask you, like, so we moving up in your
Different holiday.
this like taking a biographical kind of angle. I'm wondering, being a comic or being a musician, which came first?
Ooh, well, in the early days of like Black Flag, I was around them. My friends were wearing Black Flag and the Stains, and I would jam with them a lot. So that was early, but I always wanted to do kind of like acting and movie stuff. I never got to do that till college. I finally went to college, and I did some theater, and I found I was still doing music, but stand-up comedy is so low overhead. It's such a low overhead. You know, you just show up and you do it. You don't gotta do anything. It's it's always out there. You can always do that. So I turned to comedy, but I found comedy getting really mean-spirited, which I can roll with some stuff. But it's when I was in school, like comedy was like your shield. You know, that was like it was like now it's like jocks want to be nerds, nerds want to be jocks.
Yeah.
You know, you see commercials with football guys and they're like acting like nerds, or so no, I don't know. For me, I like the immediate rush of music. But there's something fraternal about comedy that happens when people go up and they follow each other and do sets. Something happens that bonds you like forever. Hey, I did a show with you.
Yeah.
You know, and it's a nice people thing. I think probably kind of like what happens at Alcoholics Anonymous. There's that there's an unspoken people vibe that happens.
Yeah.
And that's so.
Because even though it's a self-contained act and they're going on individually, they all tight. Like people came up at the same time. You Dana Gould and Larry Miller.
Right.
They came up at the same time. They tight. They know each other. They in the same like class. Like it. Yeah. Fraternal is a great way to
When
put
happens
that.
on Halloween, boom. I mean, you know. Right. It's good.
He tied it all in.
Like the Twilight Zone movie, how I came back to, you know, right. I'm gonna have some non-label beer, if I don't mind. So this is my Winnie the Pooh impression. Oh boy! Oh, Christopher Robin! Oh, Christopher Robin! You like that? You like that? Right?
I dig it.
Maybe I'll take the show. Cecil Queef, Halloween. What you think about that Halloween? How Halloween backwards is Nihalawa.
You blowing my mind.
I'm blowing your mind, son.
He do a good.
I put
he
you
do
there.
a good
I
simple.
can take it back. Okay? Just saying. I put you there. I can take it back.
Is how? And this is a question you can be like, Cecil, that question bull. I don't like it. Is some boilerplate nonsense. But
Green Halloween.
in stand up influences or people who you were like first time you saw like that they good.
Richard Belzer.
Yeah.
Richard Belzer, the old New York kind of comedy. Richard Belzer. Richard Lewis.
Oh yeah.
Richard Pryor, I guess all Richards. You know, Richard the Third, how's a very comedy influence. Richard Nixon was also a very
Richard Nixon, hilarious. Rivals Andy Kaufman for bits that mess with your mind. He was like, I'm leaving, and the country was like, what we gonna do? It was nuts. It was
just like that. Right?
yeah. There's a little yeah.
Yeah, so I actually to be quite honest, sketch comedy tickles me more than stand up. I like a really good sketch, something like, good characters like that. I like that a lot.
Like off camera we was talking about Mr. Show, like Mr. Show.
Right. Bob Odenkirk, yes, I like that. I like that weird kind of stuff. I'm not the roast battle kind of guy. I don't know. It doesn't turn me on to bring people down with comedy. I like to really lift people up. Even though I like to bitch up a storm about Donald Trump, I'd rather raise things with some comedy.
Yeah.
You know, it's our job. You know,
Like Odenkirk, I feel you. Like Odenkirk is coming kind of from a, not to put him all in one box, but Odenkirk kind of coming from like a silly place. You want to bring the joy and the whimsy,
Right.
and not make it like, hey, you were a piece of shit in the front row.
Exactly. Because it used to be in comedy. What happened in comedy was there's an unspoken comedy rule. You don't attack the audience unless they come at you. Now it's like roast battle. You know, you walk in. Here's a setup. Your friend's paying the Comedy Store main room. I got free tickets. Okay, great. Here's 2 free tickets. Okay, it's $20 to park. All right. Pabst Blue Ribbon tall can is $15.
Oh, my God.
2 drink minimum. Okay. So you have to buy 2. So you're like $50 in the hole. You sit down with your girl. Front of the stage, some guy comes out. Shit, look at this guy. He probably got a small dick, huh? And starts back, you know. And like, what the fuck, you know? This is the problem with comedy nowadays. The comedians speak from a place of never getting their fucking ass punched out. Okay, you know, everybody's talking shit. Obviously, they've never fucking gotten slugged. I don't know, have they? I don't know. Is it a roast battle? Is it, you know, they talk mad shit about you, and then you're supposed to accept it, and for at $10 a fucking Pabst Blue Ribbon? No, that's not me.
That ain't right.
Whenever I ran a comedy show, I would encourage heckling. Then people could come in and get theirs, you know. If you're good enough, you can get past it, right? I mean, we're doing fucking comedy in a pizza joint. You're gonna act like you're Chris Rock or something, you know?
Yeah.
It got really unpleasant for me.
And see, right now, we're going to let him do his thing. Going to throw down, going to flow. Here he is. I want to pass the mic to him officially. Dan Morales. 1, 2, 3, pow.
Dysfunctional, your sister is a mister. Functional, your mother is a whore. Functional, your brother is another. Functional, it's all a fucking bore. Come on, roll the camera. Feed the 8 bananas. Everything is ruined and it's gonna stay that way. Come on, roll the camera. Feed the 8 bananas. Everything is ruined and it's gonna stay that way. Dysfunctional, dysfunctional, dysfunctional. Dysfunctional, dysfunctional, dysfunctional. Dysfunctional, your sister is a mister. Dysfunctional, your mother is a whore. Functional, your brother is another. Functional, it's all a fucking bore.
Yeah. Woo!
Come on, roll the camera. Feed the 8 bananas. Everything is ruined and it's gonna stay that way. Come on, roll the camera. Feed the 8 bananas. Everything is ruined and it's gonna stay that way. Dysfunctional, dysfunctional, dysfunctional. Functional, dysfunctional, dysfunctional. Go on, Keith.
Yeah. Dan Morales on Cecil Queef's Mondo Rad Vids. Out.